Hi everybody. So I'm back here with another action figure haul. I think I'm going to break this up. I think I'm going to do all of my loose figures first and my carded figures second. So that'll be part 2 or just another action figure haul. And then I'm going to do my comic book haul third. So either I'm going to have 3 parts to this one video or just break them up into 3 individual videos, which probably makes more sense. So I'm going to get started here with a couple of loose figures. So first of all, I got Tremor here from McFarlane Toys. It's one of the based on the Art of Spawn figures. I didn't get a great deal on him. I think I got him for $3.99. Yeah, but you don't run across too many of the Art of Spawn figures loose. So he'll look good sitting with the rest of my loose Art of Spawn figures. So we're gonna move him out. Actually, I'm gonna move this out of the way here too. Next up, ran across a Splinter. This is one of the wind-up Splinters. He had all of his parts. This is one for whatever reason. I am missing a few common figures, and this is just one that I didn't have in my collection because most of the time you find him, his legs are missing. But this one actually had all of his parts, so I went ahead and grabbed him. Another Ninja Turtle figure. This was just a freebie. This is one of the 2003s. I can't remember his name, like General Bishop, or I can't remember, but one of my buddies threw him in with some other stuff I bought, so, yeah, free Ninja Turtle, I'll take it. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, I did run across this little Golden God Idol Leonardo. It's the 5th anniversary turtle. I've seen him several times and I've passed on him, but seeing him out of the package and just seeing how shiny and everything he was, I kind of cleaned him up a little bit. He is missing a little bit of the gold foil, but he'll still look pretty cool. And kind of happy I got him because I didn't realize how much I'd like that guy. Next up, got one of the loyal subjects and Trapjaw, Lockjaw. I can't remember this guy's name. As much as I like this guy, even though I'm not a huge He-Man collector, it's some kind of jaw guy. I had the original one of him, but when I sold my He-Man collection, I got rid of him just because I wasn't really interested in He-Man anymore, but he's one of my favorites, and there's a couple other figures that I do like the designs of. So next up, I got a Human Alliance Skids. I already have, if you watched a few hauls back, I got the black version, and I'd kind of been wanting the green version. And had most of his parts. The only thing I'm missing, I think, is his missiles and the Human Alliance figure that came with him, which was Michaela, because I think I have the motorcycle for him that came with the set. Still kind of like the black one better, because I feel like with all the green, his face kind of gets lost. But yeah, it's a Human Alliance figure. I only had to pay 20 bucks for him, so I'm pretty happy to have him. Next up, and I just said I don't collect a ton of He-Man, and here I am showing off He-Man. So I got Orko here. He did come with this ball thing, but he did not have his staff. I feel like I paid too much for him at $12.99. I got a few bucks off of him because I kind of bundled him with some other things, but yeah, I really like the designs of these 2000X He-Man figures. I don't really like the human characters too much, just because they're not my thing, but you know, if I run across a couple of these that I like, I'll go ahead and grab them just because I think they look neat. And even though I don't know what the hell his name is, he's complete. I don't think he came with this cape. Someone put it on him, but with the cape on and that crazy, well, let me put this thing back where it was. I think he's got most of his parts. He's got the 2 other little arm attachments that hang on him. But with the cape, the way it's draped over, really reminds me of in Judge Dredd whenever Judge Dredd's out in the cursed earth and he meets the hillbillies and one of them's got the mechanical arm. That's what this guy really reminds me of. Got a little trap jaw action. But this is one of my favorite villains from the He-Man line, and especially this 2003 redo. It doesn't matter what toy line that goes to. That is just one badass looking figure, and the sculpt on him, it is really, really good. That face is awesome, and even all the detail along that gun. Really cool figure. And there goes one of his parts. I wish these things hung on there better. So next up, I'm going to start grabbing out of these bags of toys. And I'm done with messing with this thing. We're going to slide all that stuff back there. Make some room for this other stuff here. So first up, you got a Dragon Ball Z figure. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z, but I've got a little nephew who really likes Dragon Ball Z, so for $2 I picked it up for him. And I also picked him up this one for $2. I'm pretty sure that's Goku, I think. Got several friends that are into Dragon Ball. I just was never something I could get into. I picked up this Human Torch. I wasn't going to open any of these, but I don't know, I kind of want to open this one. Yeah, I'm not. That's going to take too long to get into. There's like a layer of tape on that. So, it's different than the one I got a couple hauls ago. This one apparently actually lights up. I don't know if he still works or where his button is, but yeah, he does. Come on, I just had you. So he lights up. Next up, I picked up one of the Spider-Man classics. It's one of the goblins, Demi-Goblin, something like that. Yeah, just a really kind of cool figure. Any Marvel Legends under $5 isn't bad, and I think this one's a little bit tougher to find. He doesn't have his hood or his, I believe he came with a wing board or one of the gliders. Next up, this one I'll just... this is one of the figures, and I can't remember his name, but I know it's one of the Toxic Crusaders figures, Toxic Avengers. I've been wanting to buy this guy. One of my comic shops has him for $5, and I was able to pick him up for $1.99, and they're both about the same condition. Neither of them have parts, so figured for $1.99. I've been wanting him for a while. Next up, this one I'm really happy to find because you don't see him out very often. This is Needler from Pirates of Darkwater. I need to touch up the nose a little bit. And I probably won't ever actually do that, but he had his wings with him. A lot of these are missing the wings. I think he came with a sword, maybe. No accessories in most of these, but... next up, picked up a Power Girl figure. I just thought it would look cool with the rest of my kind of DC stuff, even though I don't have a ton of DC stuff. I just thought it was a good figure, and yeah, if she doesn't stay a Power Girl figure, she may end up a custom at some point. I don't know what, but Captain Marvel? I don't know. Probably not. Probably stay Power Girl. Next up, this is another figure I have. I don't know where he is right now, but this is in a lot better condition. The one I had was one that I had as a kid. I don't think mine worked anymore, and this one did, so it's one of the crazy spin turtles. This place had a bunch of Ninja Turtles, but most of them were common. There was a couple I kind of wanted to grab, like Dr. L, but I already had at least 2 Dr. L's, even though it was only a $2 figure. I know a lot of people are still looking for Dr. L, so I thought, you know, I'll leave it there. Maybe the next collector will add it to his collection. Next up, I got the Mutating Shredder. This is another common figure that I just didn't have. Some of the ones they had were in really bad condition. There was a couple they had that I wanted, but especially it's tough to find vintage Ninja Turtles under $5. So I thought I'd go ahead and take the ones that were in halfway decent shape that I needed, because the common ones I'm really not looking for, like this one. You know, I wouldn't have bought him other than the fact that he was cheap and he's relatively clean. So I just, you know, like I said, you don't run across Ninja Turtles under a couple of bucks. So These I got because maybe there's another one. Yeah. I'm gonna make some Ghostbuster customs out of these, and I was gonna buy. Anyway, I was gonna buy these, and they're even shipping them the China ones because they have some Chinese knockoffs I think that are almost identical to these, but they're still $5. So I basically got all of these for what I would have spent to ship this one from China. So now I've got all of them, and now I'll just start looking for some proton packs and figure out the best way to paint these things. And I think a couple of these I might have some kind of mix. I'm going to kind of mix and match and take heads off of certain ones and put them on different bodies that I feel like this one. I feel like that jumpsuit lends itself better to being a Ghostbuster than these two do. But I will figure out something to do with it. Anyway. So that's why I got those. Next up, I got one of these pizza shooting Michelangelos. They had a Leonardo. Kind of thought this one was in the better shape, and honestly, I'm not looking for a ton of these, and I had already racked up quite a bit of money, and just these $2 or $3 figures really add up when you're grabbing a box of them. So I kind of put the Leonardo back and kept the Michelangelo. I love that little head sculpt with the pizza sticking out and those bug eyes. And again, this is something I wouldn't have paid $5 for, but, you know, I paid $3 for it, and I got 20% off all of the figures here, so, you know, it ended up being like, I don't know, $2.30. Next up, I got a Splinter. This is one of the mutating figures too, so this is another common one that I didn't have. So yeah, I just grabbed him. Fill out my collection of commons. This one is one of the clones. It's the one that transforms into the plane. This is a G1 figure. For the life of me, I cannot remember Cloudraker. I can't remember the name of this figure, but his hologram's pretty good. His legs, I'm going to have to dip in peroxide, so I'm hoping, it looks like I can just take out a couple of little screws down here, and I'll be able to hopefully dip him in some peroxide and bring the color back in those. But if not, it's a G1 figure that looks like he's relatively complete for under $3, so you take G1 figures, Ninja Turtles, and Marvel Legends anytime you find them for $3. Next, this is an oddball. This is a Sailor Moon figure. I don't collect Sailor Moon, but it was 99 cents, and I thought for 99 cents, I got to run across somebody who collects Sailor Moon at some point in time. If they want it, they can have it, but, you know, yeah, we'll see. I was actually thinking about throwing this in my little nephew's birthday presents and just kind of messing with him, because I think he's at that age where I think if someone gave him a doll that, you know, that looks, we'll say a Barbie doll, I would think he would freak out. But more than likely, I'm just going to hold on to him and see if, you know, I run across someone who collects Sailor Moon. But for 99 cents, I would think, with it being vintage and original, I don't know the date on it, and I'm not about to look up a skirt to find it. So, yeah, it seems original, seems old. Next up, you know what? I'm going to open this one. This is the Channel 6 News Cycle for $2.99. I haven't seen this thing out in the wild. The place I went to had a bunch of Ninja Turtle stuff. Some of it was in rough condition. They had three vehicles that were in the box. They had the Turtle Tank, and they wanted $40 for it, but it was loose in the box. The box was sealed. The box looked halfway decent, but I could feel it rolling around, and I don't know if it was complete, and I couldn't open it, so I didn't want to spend $40 on it just to get an empty box and find out that most of the tank was missing. They also had one of the mini, well, they had this thing, the Mutant Scout module. So the one over there, the blue round orb. They had one of those in the box. He wanted $60 for it. Again, I couldn't tell if it was complete or not. He also had oh, the Ninja Turtles 4x4 figure, or vehicle. But he wanted 70 or 80 bucks for that. It was sealed up too, but it wasn't factory sealed, so I don't know what all was with what. So this one is missing parts, obviously. I think they had two motorcycles that were very similar to this. This one's missing basically everything on it. It might look okay sitting in the display case, but you know, it's not complete. It's got paint on the windshield, so I think finding the parts for this would be relatively hard. Yeah. So, I don't know. If I just keep it as a motorcycle, and maybe I can clean up the windshield, put April on it or somebody. It looks like it stands up on its own good enough that, yeah. So anyway, that's that. Last up, I picked up one of these, what was her name? God, I know what her name is, but when I start filming, my brain just leaves. Claire Kelly, is that it? Yeah. She's just gonna go with my Mezco Batman figures. I think this is one I'd been looking for, so I'll just throw her in the case with it. And I'm glad I didn't buy this thing whenever it was 20 bucks, because here it is for under $3. So, alright, so we're only at 16 minutes, so I'm going to keep this thing rolling here with some more figures. So we'll jump to some Star Wars. Actually, you know what? We're going to do these two Marvel Legends figures, because I need your guys' help. Okay, so I got this black suit Spider-Man, Marvel Legends. He's, I think this is based on the Superior Spider-Man Marvel Legends, but if someone can tell me where this figure, which figure this one is, I'd really appreciate it. This one, I threw in the box stuff I was getting because he's $1.99 for a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure he's part of the Classics Spider-Man. I don't know. I was really hoping he was a McFarlane Legend. Like I said, I was just throwing the stuff in a box because it was cheap. So for this guy, if someone can tell me which Spider-Man it is, it's not the McFarlane Spider-Man. His eyes aren't big enough. As soon as I got him out, I was like, that definitely does not look like a McFarlane Spider-Man. So if someone can tell me where these two Spider-Man, which ones they are, I'd really appreciate it. Look at the size difference between the heads. Me personally, I like the skinny, scrawny Spider-Man. I've always liked that style better. That's just me. So we'll go into vintage Star Wars and some other Star Wars that aren't vintage. Picked up this Force Spirit Darth Vader. It was 99 cents for a translucent Vader. Yeah, it'll look cool sitting with the rest of my Star Wars stuff. I also picked up this tiny little baby Yoda. He's 99 cents, and I like Yoda, so especially when he looks cool like that. And he's little, so I feel like he scales real well. And I picked up this other little Yoda. If you guys can tell me which ones these are from, I'm sure they're from one of the little play sets, or they may have just been, you know, a $5 action figure back in the day, or Power of the Force, I don't know. But anyway, so I picked up these two little Yodas just because I thought they'd look cool sitting with the rest of my Star Wars stuff. Next up, I got a vintage Obi-Wan. He doesn't come with any accessories, but who's going to turn down a 99-cent Obi-Wan? You don't do it. You buy it for 99 cents. Picked up this Hammerhead, I believe. If I don't know these figures, you guys do. If you're watching it and you know the name of the figure, good for you. I'm happy for you. I collect a lot of stuff, so sometimes you forget names of things, but, you know, it is what it is. I did pick up this vintage Boba Fett. This was actually not with most of that stuff. Actually, one of my buddies that has a shop at a flea market actually had gotten this for me. I'd wanted a Boba Fett in good condition that came with his gun. So, yeah, I had to pay a little bit more than what I did for the rest of this stuff, but I'm fine with that. You don't always get everything cheap. Unfortunately for me, I don't get a lot of stuff cheap, but every once in a while I get lucky and find this kind of stuff. So I also got this. This is one you guys are gonna hate me for because I don't know the name, but I want to say Forlom or Zuckus, something like that. I don't know, but he was a vintage GI Joe for under $4. This guy had a box of vintage, or sorry, not vintage GI Joe, vintage Star Wars. The guy had a box of vintage Star Wars figures, and you know, for $3.99 a piece for almost all of them, I just couldn't turn it down and had to grab them. This one, Chewbacca. Most of the time I see him, these arms are yellowed so much that they look green. So this one's really clean. He doesn't come with any accessories, but, you know, again, he'll look good with the rest of them. So, next up, found a vintage R2. Sticker on it's really clean. I know I've paid a lot more for one of these in worse condition, so to get one of these for $3.99, I will buy every one of these vintage R2s for $3.99. It's one of my favorite characters, and I think that makes 3 of the vintage Star Wars I have. This one does not have the periscope, so I have one with the periscope that comes out. This one doesn't. I don't know which is more rare. I really don't care, so yeah, happy to have him. Next up, this is one I don't know the name of. General Ahab, we'll call him Ahab. Pussy lips there. Purse face, I don't know. But he's $3.99. He's a vintage Star Wars, so. Bossk. I don't know in my other figure if I showed off that I got a complete Bossk. I don't remember what I paid for him, $10, and then I run across this one for $3.99. So, you know, I probably paid $6 for that gun, apparently, because I think the only thing he came with was a gun. But I like him. So, actually, one of these figures, I don't even remember which one it was. Yeah, it was, I went to grab IG-88. I thought he was in the box, and I think I just randomly just grabbed in the box and set him down thinking I grabbed the IG-88. But yeah, so I ended up with an extra Bossk. So, next up, I did run across some Transformers. This guy I'm going to open up because this box is just, or this bag is just horrible. So I picked up Lockdown. I did pay $4.99 for him. I'm not sure if I think he's worth it because this is kind of one I'd wanted. Let's see. I think he goes this way. And how do I turn the feet? Where's your foot? You've got a foot here. I know you do. No, your toes are here. So, yeah. I don't know. Oh, there we go. There's his foot. Alright. So, he seems like he's close to complete. He doesn't have... I think he's supposed to have like a hook hand or something. Yeah. I don't know why he's got these kind of special... These wrist joints don't twist out. I think he's relatively complete. I'm not seeing anything he's really missing aside from, like I said, I think he's got some hooks. He's missing whatever went on the side of his arms. But he's not going to be in car mode, I don't think. I may transform him once just to see what he looks like in car mode, but more than likely he's going to stay like that. Yeah. Anyway, so got a Lockdown. Next up, I found one of the movie Shockwaves for $3. And he looks relatively complete. He's got his hose. One of the reasons I wanted to pull that out was look at the light piping in that. That's really good light piping. But this is a figure I liked. I don't think I would have bought him if he wasn't $3. But yeah, I'm happy to have him. I don't think I would have, spent more than what I spent on him. $3 or $4. Yeah, $2.99. Next up, we'll go ahead and open this. So, looks like I'm going to end up doing 2 parts to the, since I'm doing all the loose figures here, I'll do all the carded figures in the next video. So I picked up one of these movie primes, and he was, if anyone cares. Let's see, he's got ratchet arms, ratcheting arms. I'll have to play with transforming this guy because I really don't know how, but I only have one other movie prime figure, so I thought, I'll go ahead and grab this guy. He seems relatively complete. I can tell right now he's missing one of his little tanks here, so I know he's missing something. But for the most part, looks kind of complete. Kind of wonder if he has anything that's supposed to go in this section, because he kind of looks naked there. Oh wait, he rotates. There we go. That makes more sense. Now he's not as naked. I don't know why he's got this beefcake pose, or beefcake. But I'll play with him later and figure him out, and see if I can get him sorted out. But yeah, for what I pay for him, $3.99. Most Transformers, if you can get them for $3.99, it's not terrible. This was one of the figures that I was most excited about. It is the Megatron Nerf gun. I want to open him up real quick. I'm about to run out of memory on this memory card, so that's one reason why these videos are going to be broke down. But yeah, so yeah, so there's what the gun looks like. Kind of thought he might light up. It's supposed to be a trigger here, but the scope you can actually see through. So yeah, let's see if I can do anything with this guy. Real quick here. So I've never transformed him before, but he looks like he's relatively easy to transform. I'm assuming this is going to be an all backpack. The body looks like it comes together. Arm looks like it rotates and comes up. That mounts there, which means there's got to be a hand over here somewhere. Yeah. Hold on, stay with me. I'm just trying